Can we talk for a minute about our Integrating Heart and Mind workshop?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's coming up in the fall of 2024.
I'm so excited. We changed the format to make it more accessible to people with like work schedules and personal schedules. And so this time we're going to do it 3 hours on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you're at, and 5 hours on Saturday for 2 different weeks in September.
Yeah, it's so great. Like if you're finding yourself stuck in like sticky bad patterns or having communication issues or something like that, or if you want to just like get closer and trust yourself or your partner more, this is the workshop for you.
Yeah, and individuals are welcome, couples are welcome. If you're interested in really thinking through how to serve yourself well inside of your relationships, then we've built a workshop that will support you in finding the ways that are just right for you.
To sign up, head over to our website at whydoesmypartner.com/events.
We hope you'll join us. Welcome to the Why Doesn't My Partner podcast.
I'm Jules.
I'm Vickey.
And I'm Rebecca. We're your hosts. We're also couples therapists and messy humans bumbling through our own relationships every day.
We met through our training and practice of relational life therapy. Between us, we have more than 40 years of experience holding hard relational questions with our clients. We're going to bring those questions here.
And together, we're going to take a stab at answering those questions. This podcast is not a substitute for therapy. If something you hear in this episode stirs something deep within you about your relationship, reach out to a couples therapist in your area.
We also love to hear your questions, so don't forget to go over to whydoesmypartner.com and leave us a question of your own. Here's today's question. Why does my partner do things that they know will hurt me?
Are they trying to get your attention?
Oh,
because they don't like you and they're punishing you.
I was wondering that too.
And I'm hearing your answers on the place that my mind went is, are you making up the part of the story that says that they know that they'll hurt you?
Yes.
Or is it true that they know that they'll hurt you? Like I went to that.
That's interesting.
Say more
because that changes, right? Like if my partner is doing things that they know will hurt me, that's like mean and malicious, and there's contempt in there, and there's something going on. If my partner is doing things and I'm making up the story that they know or feeling that they should know will hurt me, but my partner isn't like aware or mindful or just not thinking of the fact that they're hurting me, that's something different. That's not like the same malice.
Yeah, I would even challenge that might not be malice at all.
Right. So like, but like that's why like the first part of me went to like, do they know?
Do they know? Yeah. Yeah. And how would we know if they knew?
That was my next thought too.
By talking to them.
Well, we keep telling people to talk to their partners. It's such a pain in the butt. Yes, no, it's true. You have to go vulnerable if you're saying, oh, when you do this, it hurts my feelings. Not, I would contend that sometimes we think we have told them when what we've actually communicated is not that we're hurt, but that we're pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that sits with people different than it would if I were being hurt.
I'm thinking of the ways in which I have told James over the years that something hasn't felt good. And often the way that it's landed is really different than the way I've meant to communicate it.
Yeah.
And the way that I may have meant to communicate it, my intention behind it could have been, oh, I really don't like it when you do this. Could you not do it this way? Could you do it this way instead? Because when you do it this way, it doesn't feel so good. And I don't really like that. And so what I'd prefer is. And what he's heard is, you're a schmuck. Why do you do it that way? Yeah. Don't you know how awful you are?
Oh, yeah. So it lands this like criticism in his heart.
And he gets defended against it because no, don't you see that I was trying? And right. So like I think our history colored glasses, those things that you keep reminding us about, Jules, right? Those history colored glasses really affect the way that we both say things and the way that we hear them.
Yes, totally. So even if I've been really clear, it may be that my partner had their history colored glasses on in a way that meant I need to block this information or I need to defend against this information. Like, it doesn't mean they took it in.
Right.
And then there's also the one, okay, so I'm thinking about a case I worked with today, actually, where he's saying, I don't understand why you keep doing this. I've told you it hurts me. And
today someone said that?
Today someone said this in front of me to their partner. And then the partner said, I can't understand why you're asking me not to say this. I need to be heard. You want me to have no voice in this relationship?
Oh.
So her story is that she, in order to say anything about anything that's true, it hurts him terribly. And his story is, you don't really care about whether or not you're hurting me because you won't stop doing the thing that is, I'm telling you, is hurting me.
And both are true. Like, that's the dilemma, right? Because both are true.
And this is why
on some level.
Well, totally. This is why you're listening to this podcast, is because relationships at this level hard.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to lie, I got lost with you explaining it.
Yeah. So like,
there's a lot to this.
There's a lot to this. So basically, like, just imagine it like this. Like, I want to tell you something I need.
Yeah.
Because that's an important piece for me in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you're still telling me about things you need. Every time you do, it hurts my feelings. I feel like I'm not a good person. I feel like I'm not a good partner. Why will you not stop? I need you to stop telling me what you need.
And I need to keep telling you what I need, because if I don't keep telling you what I need, then I'm never going to get those needs. And I need to be able to voice them, because if I don't voice them, that hurts me. If I don't
You
feel
are
that I
not
can voice
listening to me. Why are you trying to hurt me?
And all I want to do is individual therapy with both of you to figure out why you both feel that way. Where did this come from?
Right.
Like, that's what I find myself thinking. Like, can we dig into this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you both have just told me so much about what's going on for you.
Totally.
Well, so that's it right there. Like, hold that thought, Vickey, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've told me so much about what's going on for you.
Well, told me, by the way, as a therapist.
Right. No, I hear you there, but I'm going to do like this thing with everybody that's listening.
Mm-hmm.
What if whatever position you're in, whether like the role that I was just playing or the role that Jules was just playing, you find yourself in one of those positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you can just put on this thinking hat that Vickey just put on? What if you can go, wait, hold on a minute. You just told me so much about you. Can I get curious about that and try to understand you?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, can we name that doing that in the moment would be climbing Mount Everest, and doing that even away from the moment is also climbing a mountain.
Yeah. So
it's just not Everest level problem.
Rare, but I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
And it does shift everything when I'm like, what's going on? Where did that come from?
And the curiosity look.
That's
Vickey just gave me this look where she bites her thumb, and I always thought it was like, oh, she's nervous about something, but it's not. It's her curiosity look.
It really is. Thank you. I couldn't name it for you either, but that's exactly what it is. So thank you.
Okay. So if you can move into curiosity, then you could be wondering about what that person is hoping for. So like whoever called this question in, why do they do things they know will hurt me? Well, that's a really good, curious question. What is so important about the way you're doing this thing that you can't let it go, even if you have this information? What is the thing? It's like I'm asking it like this. Love, I see you expressing a need. What's the hope behind telling it to me like this? Right? Or I see you doing this thing, whatever the thing is that I've told you hurt me. I see you doing this thing. I see you doing it over and over again. What are you hoping for when you do that thing? It can get us really fast to what the relational intention is.
I'm going to take a guess right here that they hope to feel less alone.
Yeah, usually.
They also
Or
have to be
avoid
able to answer that, though, is what I find myself thinking. God bless my husband. And it depends on where he's at, what brain state, but like he has no idea what the hope is.
Oh, good. This is a wonderful moment to slow down and figure it out.
Right.
together.
But he has to be in the mood.
Well, and if he's
the hope is that you'll do it my way. Like that's what
okay. And okay, no, play this out with me, but be like really stubborn with me.
Okay.
Be like a stubborn dude.
I'll try.
And I'm going to try to be super regulated woman you are married to, right? Not all dudes are stubborn. And by the way, there are plenty of stubborn women. I don't mean
And
to
not all
make-
women are regulated.
And not
I
all
was
women
just
are
going to say,
regulated.
and if I'm trying to be my stubborn husband, I'm not always a regulated wife.
I'm going to attempt to keep coming into my relationality.
Okay.
So let's
you
say
be stubborn.
You did a thing.
Yeah.
You gave me directions on how to cook dinner. That's the thing. You told me how you
to you.
Yep. Too. You told me how to cut the lettuce different.
Yep.
So let's say that just happened.
Yes.
And here's my move. Sweetie, is it okay if I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you tell me how to do a thing, like almost like how to do a thing different than I'm doing.
Yes.
Like you just did right now with the lettuce.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are you hoping will happen when
That you'll
tell
cut the
me?
lettuce the way I told you to.
If I did that, so my heart rate just raised, I'm soothing it so that I can stay in my curiosity. I'm saying, Jules, stay in curiosity. Okay, if I cut it the way you did it, what would that change for you?
I won't have to coach you on how to cut lettuce because doesn't everyone know how to cut lettuce, right? You're supposed to cut it with the grain. Actually, we're not supposed to be cutting the lettuce. I'm letting you cut it because you want to. We're supposed to be ripping the lettuce.
Okay. So if I did it your way, it would be the right way.
Why are we talking about this? Why can't you just rip the lettuce?
Because I really want to understand. Because it feels weird for me, but I really want to understand what you want.
I want you to rip the lettuce the way I'm telling you to rip the lettuce.
I totally hear you. And baby, whether you like it or not, we're married. And I want to know you all the way on the inside.
You know me well enough. We don't need to have this conversation again. We have that conversation a lot. You know me as well as you're going to know me. Rip the I'm done.
Okay, I'll come back and ask you later.
Okay, I do need to say something really interesting about this.
Yeah.
Really hard to stay
in the stubborn
when you're not escalating with me. Like that's the main thing I found was
Say it again. Say it again. Our people need to hear it.
I'm going to say the direct
It was
quote.
hard to stay in the stubborn when you're not escalating with her.
Yeah.
Right? Like that when your partner's not staying in the escalation.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to calm down.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And eventually, by the way, I would have gotten down to, wait a second, if we always do things one way, what is it that gives to you?
Yeah.
If we do it the right way, like according to you, like whatever, when we can rip the lettuce, I don't care about that. But
that is the right way to do it, by the way.
Sure. I can go with you on that. I'll rip the lettuce. But aside from that problem, like, what is it? If you get what you want, what do you get out of it?
When it goes your way, whatever it is, if it's the lettuce.
When it goes your way.
A controlled environment.
And what do you get if you have a controlled environment, love?
Less chaos, less messy.
Oh, so it is messy, like mad or scared, or what is it? Now I'm in a conversation with my partner, right?
Right.
So we can make these points of deep curiosity.
Yeah.
See, you know what's hitting me right here as I'm like witnessing this moment is that moment of deep curiosity, that place that you're getting to. Mm-hmm. I think for most people, probably most of our listeners, there's something about that state, about that place that is so open, deep, curious, vulnerable.
It's super vulnerable what I'm doing. It's super vulnerable what I'm doing there.
And I think there's something about that, even just the thought of going there, that freaks people out.
Of course. And by the way, there were lots of moments, even in that role play that we were doing. And I know you really well. And I know this is not personal. We're playing a game here. And my heart rate was escalating.
I
up
love
and down.
that you told us that, that you walked us through it.
My breath was tight here and there. So there were lots of moments where I had to remind myself. And for me, this is what works. And it may work for you. It may be something different that's the magic, like little sentence for you. But for me, is I kept saying, Jules, this isn't about you. This is about your partner. And you're discovering something about them. So I'm not asking you about what you want to do because of it hurting me. I'm asking about this so that I can know you better.
Say it again.
I'm asking it without agenda. I'm asking it only with the hope of understanding you, not with the hope of changing you, not with the hope that you don't tell me what to do with the lettuce, not with trying to change you in any way, and not with my needs in mind.
That's big.
Yeah.
My agenda so frequently is to prove my point.
Totally.
I have to check that. I'm like, and this is even like on a Facebook comment, like anything. I literally have to think to myself, is my agenda right now to connect with this person or to get them to see that my way is right and theirs is wrong? And I've gotten good by now that at least if the agenda is to prove my point, I don't comment on Facebook. Like there's some progress. But it's amazing how much I can notice of like, oh, my agenda's not connection with this. My agenda's not connection.
Totally. And by the way, if my agenda had been, if my agenda had been to not tell me how to deal with lettuce, then I would have said, sweetie, I have something I'd like to ask from you.
Right.
Are you ready to hear it? No, not right now. We're busy cooking dinner. Okay, I'll tell you later. Yeah, fine. Right or wrong, it really bugs me when you tell me how to do stuff different. Could you not?
It's hard to, I so want to push back and be like,
of course,
whatever. But you asked it so nicely. It's hard to do that.
It's hard to do it because when Jules said it that way, she said right or wrong, right? Like she's not coming at this with a defense. She's not coming at it with I have to be right. She's coming at it with a place of like, could we just not do this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, in my heart, before I ask that question, I tell myself, it's okay if this person tells me no.
Right.
And as right before I say it, I say that to myself so that I'm not doing it with trying to get you to say yes. I'm doing it with a communication about something that would be helpful to me.
It's direct request.
It's direct request.
Can we wrap this up by kind of going over some of these pieces, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it's important.
There's been a lot of them.
Because there's been a lot, right? So I think it's important to go back and just name it all. It's possible that your partner has no idea that they're hurting you and this is not malicious.
Yep.
Right?
It's also possible that whatever they're doing, they're locked into some sort of hope or need that they have, and it would help to get curious about what that might be. It's also really, if we're going to listen deeply, it's really helpful to get out of our own way. Listening is not about me or what I want. Listening is about you. And then we talked about direct requests.
Oh.
So a direct request is where I'm actually asking for something that would make my life a little bit easier with you, knowing that I might hear no, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah. So that's it. We'll see you back here next week.
Bye-bye.
Love each other best you can.
That wraps up this week's episode. Join us again next week for another Why Does My Partner?
We hope that you continue to listen wherever you get your audio and that you'll follow the show.
To go deeper, join us at our boot camp. You'll find the next date at whydoesmypartner.com.
Did you know you could ask us your question?
Your questions are relational gold.
Go to whydoesmypartner.com to either write in or record your question for a future episode.